Hello and welcome to a very special video. This is going to be a rare glimpse into the 3-week process of making the 50 random facts video. I'm going to show you behind the scenes of filming, planning, editing and all the in-between stuff. The 50 random facts video is one of the most elaborate videos I've ever filmed. So much work has went into making this video. I've been all over the place shooting videos for this video. It's took about 3 weeks to film and edit, and I've made this awesome behind the scenes video to go along with it as well. This is the first ever behind the scenes video I've done, and hopefully you learn some filmmaking tips from this. If anyone's a budding filmmaker and gets some ideas and inspiration from this video, then I'll be really happy, because that's hopefully what I want to achieve by showing you this video. So anyway, without further ado, let's go behind the scenes. Oh, hello there. Welcome to my computer area. This is where all the magic happens. This is where I edit my videos. And right now I'm working on the list of facts for the video. The list is complete, but obviously I've got to rearrange everything and change around some of the facts, because I've wrote some of the facts twice for some weird reason. But yeah, pretty much done. That's me trusty dream catcher. Keeps us company while I'm editing videos. And yeah, that's one of like 6 dream catchers I've got in my bedroom. I'm a bit dream catcher mad. And yeah, I'm going to get back to editing this list of facts, because it kind of needs finished. So, bye. Now hopefully I'll get it right this time. I've done about 6 takes of this and I've still made loads of mistakes. My vlogging's a bit rusty at the moment, so I'm just trying to like summon that in our Richie's vlogging energy. And yeah, hopefully I can film properly this time without being so rusty. Come on, Rusty Richard! Rusty... Oh god. When you haven't vlogged in a while, it's difficult, because like you get all like rusty and whatever. I'm gonna film this time and I'm gonna get it right. Okay, here we go. Hello guys. So today I'm on my way to film my first reconstruction video for the 50 random facts video, and this is the burger scene I'm going to film, so I'm really looking forward to this one. Now it's a bit windy today, which is probably why my hair looks a bit messy, and I'm sorry about that. It's just, I can't have nice hair all the time. I probably look a bit like David Bowie at the moment. Well, David Bowie on a bad hair day. So this is my bag of stuff, and in here I've got my jacket, which I'm going to be changing into for the scene next to the flats. And I've also got my Gorillapod, which I'm going to be using to, well, stick my camera on to film some scenes. This is the bag I keep my camera in, and it's empty at the moment because I'm actually using that camera to film. These are the type of things you've got to avoid when vlogging muddy areas. I was actually going to bring my tripod as well, but I decided against it because I thought it's a bit of a long walk where I'm going to, and I don't want to carry a big bag and a tripod around with that entire distance. I mean, I probably could, because I'm quite a fit person, but I just couldn't be bothered, so your Gorillapod's good enough. Also, I'm sorry if you can't hear us very well, it's very windy today. I'm hoping the camera doesn't shake around too much, which it shouldn't, because it's quite a heavy camera. Anyway, I'll be back when I'm at the flats. So I've just got the camera set up here, and it's busy filming a time lapse right now. There's an open window up there, and I'm going to film a short time lapse of the clouds going by in the open window. Just some B-roll for the video, you know. Make sure I don't get too close to it, because I don't want my camera going in the shot. It's actually pretty amazing some of the places you can put a Gorillapod. Look at where I've put it, on this post here. And I'm filming a scene with them rocks over there. Look, it's literally just connected to that little rusty hook there. I've decided to film a lot of the shots at the back of this block of flats here, because I'll probably get funny looks throwing burgers around and throwing burgers on my own head and stuff. It's pretty secluded here, there's nobody about to watch us filming, so yeah. I mean, I filmed a few shots around the back, that's where the busy area is, but most of it's going to be filmed here. And yeah, pretty big block of flats. This is the burger I'm using. As you can see, it looks a bit bashed because I've been dropping it and stuff on camera. Oh dear. I'm going to end up binning this. I know it cost £1, but it's worth it for a good video. I'm going to bin that, and I'm going to keep the little sachet sauce, because why not? There's no point in binning that, it can be reused. I'm about to film the scene with the burger now. This is going to be the funny part. There's no cheese in it, sadly, because the cheese got destroyed in the few videos I've been shooting already, but hopefully it still looks good. When I edit the video again, I'll make it look like the cheese is still in, probably by showing the bun part hitting my head first, so then people can't tell. But yeah, that's the power of editing. So, I'm going to go that wall over there, and I'm going to zoom in with my camera and see what I can film. Burger is just destroyed. I think I'll just use what I've got. Hopefully them 2 clips that I did manage to get actually look alright. This burger is just trashed. So that wraps up a very interesting day of filming. It was a lot harder work than I thought. Trying to stay on the down low without getting too many people watching his film is throwing a burger on my head and stuff, but it was still fun. There's always that feeling of, oh, you haven't got enough footage, or oh, hopefully the footage you did film turns out good. But usually when I film something, it does turn out good, even if I think it doesn't. So I'll go on my gut instinct and say that the footage I have got I can work with. It's just starting to get dark now, so I timed me filming well. If I left it any later, I would have been filming at night time. I've just realised I've just shot that video footage about getting hit on the head by a cheeseburger. Now I've been in that same place and just been hit in the head by a cheeseburger about 20 times now. So literally all that footage is just added to the whole cheeseburger madness of it all, because yeah, I got hit on the head from a really high window by a cheeseburger and it was completely out of the ordinary, but now I've just been hit on the head by like 19 extra burgers thrown by myself, so I am now officially the king of cheeseburgers hitting us under the head under a block of flats. If that's a title in the Guinness World Records book, I'll take it. Yeah, that should look good. So, here's a behind scenes look at the burger scene where the man throws the burger out the window, and as you can see, I'm using the toilet for that scene. Yeah, I know using a toilet is not the most nice room to use for a scene for filming, but it was the only room in the house that had a window similar to the one on the flats. And for the room I've used a bit of malt vinegar and some water, and I've used one of my old bottles. Because it's quite early in the day, so I don't want to be drinking rum at this time. But it works. It looks authentic, so that's the main thing. And that's the burger I'm going to be using. Obviously I've already filmed some of the video using it, so I'm going to have to try and persevere with it. I'm thinking of just showing the back towards the camera so you can't see that the fact it hasn't actually got a lid anymore. And yeah, I've got a hat. There's the jacket I'm going to be wearing. Instead of using my actual phone, I'm going to use this old phone here because it's cracked and it looks more like gangstery using a cracked phone. I'm using my current phone to vlog with right now. The crack probably won't show up on camera, but even if it shows up a little bit, it looks more authentic using a broken phone. Because obviously this is a gangster scene and I'm going to be playing a gangster. For about 30 seconds of footage, I've went through all this length. And yeah, I'm going to be throwing the burger out of this window. and it's going to land on that roof, so I can easily pick it up. I've decided to get this daylight lamp for a bit of extra lighting. I'm going to be filming from down here, so you can't tell it's a toilet. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yo man, you got those cigarettes I promised? Yo man, you got those cigarettes I asked for? Okay man, okay. Oh, this burger's rank. What did Johnny put in this burger, man? Oh, this burger's rank, man. Where did Johnny buy it from? Oh, not having this anymore. Oh. So today I'm on my way to shoot some shots for one of my questions. I believe it's the one where I go on 20-mile walks. And it's a bit of a chilly day today, but that probably actually works in my favour because there'll be less people about, so I won't feel like a nugget filming random things in the middle of a random footpath. It's much better filming things alone because you get a lot more freedom in what you film. At the moment I'm just kind of scouting this location to find the best place to film. Looks kind of nice, there's some nice electricity pylons and stuff, so I might use them in some of my shots. These are probably going to be the last outdoor scenes I actually film because the weather's starting to get cold. It's almost December and it's getting darker earlier, so you know there's not many more opportunities going to crop up to film, so yeah, I'm getting the last outdoor shots done today and then it'll be all indoor shots from here on out. So I've got the camera set up right here and currently it's filming a time lapse. I'm just going to use this area and then I'm going to head down the beach and just film some random shots there. I thought this ravine sort of ditch thing looked good. I might even film a shot of myself walking along this, just to have some like off-path action. It's all going to be pretty much improvised, so I've got no idea how it's going to look at the end, but hopefully I can make it look good. If you're wondering why I've got tape down there, it's because I lost the block for the tripod, so I'm just using a makeshift one with tape. It does the job though. Oh, and a little technical info for all you nerds out there who want to do filmmaking and stuff. If you're wondering what camera settings I'm using auto and then I'm switching to manual focus after that, so it stays on manual focus but it's in focus. Well, hopefully in focus. It should be. I'm using a Samsung and it has a time-lapse mode. If you go in program and you go in the menu, it has that thing there. You can either shoot in 5, 10 or 20. I don't know what cameras you'll be using, but that's what settings I use on mine. I've got the camera and tripod pitched on a very odd angle here, but I'm going to shoot myself running over that thing there and jumping over that little puddle and going back up the hill. Thank God for spirit levels. When I go on my long walks, I literally go everywhere. Like this place, for instance. Come on, Richard, you can do it. Oh, yes! I came out in one piece. Phew! So while filming that scene, I kind of tripped a little bit in the water and I got my shoes soaking, but you know, now I've got waterlogged feet and it started raining, but thankfully it's not raining really heavily, so I can still continue filming. I've just had to wipe down the camera lens because there was raindrops on the camera. It's a good job I've got this cloth with us. Always got to carry a lens cleaning cloth with you just in case. You never know what's going to happen to the camera lens. You know, there might be like a sudden sandstorm come out of nowhere, or a meteorite might hit the camera and destroy the lens, and maybe the cloth won't help with that one. It's great when you find a good filming location. There's this old looking building down here in that house, in them posts, and I thought I'm just going to set the camera up here and get a zoom in of them two posts in them old looking buildings in the background. And I just like how this field looks. It's nice and marshy and stuff. It's a shame because there was steam coming out the side of that building before and it looked really good, but it's stopped now. but it still looks good even without the steam, so I'm just going to film it anyway. Hope for the best. So I found this random section of trees and I'm just filming a shot walking across there because it looks quite unusual. I was going to go to the woods and film like a proper cinematic woodland walk, but I haven't really got time today, so I just went in this random clump of trees. There's a few pipes around, so it's not the most like natural of places to film. I do kind of wonder what's in this pipe. Hello? Is anybody in there? And yeah, this stupid rain. It's a good job I'm covered with the trees here. Sometimes you've just got to plough through the weather and film anyway. This has to be the most awkward place I've ever walked to just to get a 5-second video clip. Like, probably ever. If I end up in A&E, then you'll know why. This is all for YouTube. What I'm putting myself through. This is going in the outtakes. This is going in the outtakes. The poor shoes are absolutely ruined. Yep. This is going in the outtakes. Goodbye, random area of trees. You've done me so well. Not. My shoes are absolutely ruined, and so are my hands. That was a really stupid idea, and I kind of regret doing that, but yeah. Oh my god. Look at my hands. Oh. It absolutely stinks as well. Oh. And I've still got the beach scene to film yet. Yeah. That won't be going in the final cut. I've got enough footage from this area anyway, so I'm going to move on. I'm probably going to head off to the beach now because it's getting dark and I've got to clean up and clean my hands, and hopefully I don't stink on the metro. I'll just rinse my shoes in the seawater. Oh god. Yeah, gonna have to get this cleaned up. I've even cut my hand on what looks like a piece of wood. I pulled it out before, and if I don't get this washed soon, I'll probably get an infection in my hand, so I'm literally risking my life to shoot these videos, guys. Well, not quite risking my life, but almost risking my life. Let's hope the final result looks good. I know I've said that like a million times, but I really do hope the final result is good, because look at this state I'm in. Covered in head to toe of mud, I headed for the nearest place I knew with a sink, and that was Sainsbury's. And I headed straight for the toilets. Well, almost straight. I think I'll rinse off my shoe a tiny little bit as well. Yeah. I think I deserve this after that ordeal. So I'm here at the alot beach and I'm about to film myself walking across the sand here, and to film this scene I'm going to take my coat off because I want it to look like summer. Not cold enough to freeze. I'm only filming like for 20 seconds, so I should be fine. And yeah, let's film a summer walk in my t-shirt even though it's not summer. And yeah, because I want to get the shots looking varied, so that's the whole point of filming this. After that was filmed, I packed up my camera and tripod and headed for the cave. The beach is surprisingly busy considering it's a cold day. Quite surprised at that. Luckily I've got this whole cave to myself. Spooky. Ooh. So I've came into this little cave. The tide's coming in, so I've got to hurry when filming this one. Not the biggest cave in the world, but it'll do. So in this shot, I'm going to be using my phone as a torch. So I'm going to be holding my phone with the flash on. See the camera over there, and yeah. Hopefully this shot looks good. It's only going to be 5 seconds long, but whatever. Hello? Is anybody in here? Hello? So I've just filmed the cave scene on this beach here, and I'm going to go over that beach over there to film the walking across the sand scene. I would have walked across, but as you can see the tide's in, so yeah, that's going to be a bit tricky. Those clouds look something like out of a movie. Whoa. Anyway, let's get filming before the sun sets. I've got my power bank plugged into the camera, so I'm charging the camera on the go. You've got to be efficient. Sadly I can't zip the bag properly though, but at least it's holding the camera in place, you know. So as the sun went down, I packed up all my camera gear and I headed home on the metro, where I will be getting plenty of rest for another day of filming. I'm on the way to film.
You're looking a bit windswept there, Richard. Are you feeling okay?
Got my tripod, got me camera. And I've got a big sun shining right in my face. Sometimes you come across some weird things on the way to filming locations, and this is definitely one of them. Cool. I've came to this field, and as nice as this field is, I'm not going to be filming in this field. I'm filming the intro to part 2 on this giant rock here. Hello everybody, welcome to part 2. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, then please go and watch it. Hopefully that looks good. I'm just watching back the footage and it looks pretty good. I chose this angle because the sun was up there and it looked quite cinematic, so yeah, looks good. This is a train track you can actually walk across. There's the path, and yeah, you can pretty much walk across it. The good thing is this is a freight line, so it's not used very frequently. There's only about 3 trains go across this track every day, so I should be able to get away with setting up the tripod over there, and hopefully I don't get run over by any trains. I don't think I will though. And yeah, those police aren't after me, just if you're wondering. I haven't done anything illegal. So yeah, I'm going to set the tripod up over there where that big beam is. The sun's up there, so I should get some good lighting on my face, and I'm just going to plonk the tripod over there somewhere. As you do. Yeah, over there somewhere. I'm going to film myself coming out of this gate, and I'm going to film myself walking across there and go through that gate.
Take that bottle! Yeah! Come and get some, man!
So yeah, that just about wraps up the train track scene. Now on to the next location. Sometimes you just don't need a tripod, and this is one of those situations. And I've just slotted a pair of keys underneath to prop the camera up a little bit. As you do. So thanks to the fact the weather's freezing cold, the camera's run out of battery, so I've plugged it into this power bank. It's a good job it uses a Samsung port because I can actually charge the camera on the go.
Oh my, aïe mon télévision, hello everybody.
I was just about to pack up and stop filming and I noticed this rainbow and I thought, oh my god, I've got to use this in one of my clips. So yeah, I've got a rainbow in one of my shots now. Yay. Really hoping that looks good. How lucky am I to get a rainbow appearing right before my eyes? Just got the most awesome looking shot ever. Yep, and there comes the rain. Oh god, it's getting in my eyes. Whew. So after a long and grueling 2 days of filming outside, all that was left was the indoor filming. And what better way to start with the haunted bedroom scene. And I woke up in the middle of the night and it was really, really dark. And I felt something funny on the bed and I was like, what's that? And it felt like hair. And I could just see faintly as well, it looked like hair as well. It was so dark, but I had seen like the faint outline of hair. So for this scene, I lit my bedroom by sticking the daylight lamp on my curtain rail. I was going to use my normal light, but I thought the daylight lamp looked less artificial. And the nighttime look was done in post-production. I'll show you how I did it later in this video. So I'm going to be sitting on my bed here. Here's a list of facts and of course a few props. And here's my ridiculous camera setup. As you can see, I've got a light stuck on the back of the chair and I've got a couple of t-shirts on it just to dull the light. Because without those t-shirts, it's very, 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 very bright. And basically, my eyes were watering. So yeah, I've got a few t-shirts just to dull the lighting. And I'm weighing it down with this. And yeah, it looks stupid, but it does the job. I really hope you appreciate the effort I'm putting into this video, guys. I'm not a lighting expert, but I've tried my best, and hopefully it works. Oh yeah, and if any Stranger Things fans are watching, this t-shirt is for you. Hello guys, welcome to a very special video. Come on. Just getting the swing of this. Hello guys. Hello guys. Welcome to 50 random Hello guys. Welcome to 50 random facts. Hello guys and welcome to 50 random facts. So, first fact of the video is that So, let's take this. I thought. So, and what happened? Really? So eventually I asked my mum. So eventually, oh, come on in. I think that eye is now actually. I think that right. So basically, when you have a God. So basically, when you get eye problems. So basically, usually when I walk. So usually when you get vision problems in one eye. Oh my God, man, why couldn't I get it right? God, come on, Richard.
Oh my God, man, I couldn't get it right.
So basically, I got some glasses. Where are the glasses? Can't fit them without the glasses. Bucka bucka puck, the bucka bucka puck. Bucka bucka puck, itty bucka dicka puck. Rocka bucka puck, the bucka bucka puck. Rocka ducka puck, the bucka ducka puck. Simba's cameo. Come on, little guy. I've just finished the camera. Nudged it. So, with all the filming out the way, it was finally time to move on to the editing stage of the video. But before we move on, here's one last behind the scenes photo montage I put together. Enjoy! So I've got this professional AKG microphone, and this is what I originally was going to use for the voiceovers, but I tried it out and it turns out the microphone doesn't actually work. I'm not sure if it's actually the microphone or the leads or the external sound card that I'm plugging it into, but I just can't seem to get the thing to work. It's making a horrible buzzing sound, and I know there's plenty of YouTube tutorials on how to fix microphones, and you know, I could be on for days trying to fix it, but I managed to find this little thing. This is what I'm using for the voiceovers, and I've got it plugged through a USB lead into my computer. This thing was originally meant to connect to here and go around the microphone like that, but since I'm not using that, I'm going to be placing this on my computer desk like that, and then I'm going to place this microphone inside there like that. But I will put it on a Gorillapod, so it'll probably be up to there, and hopefully it works out. Okay, I think it's time to test this crazy microphone setup out. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Richie's Vlogs is the best. Okay. Why is it not recording? Record, man! Oh, this sucks. Why is it not doing anything? Why is this not working? Hello, is there some kind of reason why this is not working? Flipping it. Should be working now. Hopefully it's loud enough. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. Testing. Richie's Vlogs is the best. Woo! Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. Testing. Richie's Vlogs is the best. Woo! After a couple of more hours of messing around with this crazy microphone setup, I came to the decision that it was no good. If you're speaking right into the microphone, your voice sounds great, but anything further than 2 foot away sounds pretty rubbish. So, as a last resort, I found an old headset, I plugged it in, and I tested it out, and the sound quality is actually pretty decent. Hello. Yay. The sound quality isn't as perfect as I would have liked it to be, but it's alright. It does the job. So here we are, we're finally at the editing stage of the video. I've got Sony Vegas right here. This is what I use to edit videos. First things first, we're going to start a new project. So we'll go to File, New. These are the project settings I use. You can find plenty of tutorials on YouTube on the best project settings or best rendering settings. I personally use just Alex Halfad's videos. He does lots of tutorials on the best project settings, rendering settings, and I've been using his videos for as long as I can remember. So here we are, a blank canvas ready to edit the 50 random facts video. Let's cue the editing montage. So that's both parts of the 50 random facts video edited. As you can see, there's a lot of media in here. Yes, it did take a lot of work to edit this video. It's actually still loading right now because there's so many clips on the timeline. My computer's even struggling to open the thing. That's how much media is actually on here. There's probably over 15 gigabytes of actual files on this timeline. It's absolutely crazy. So I'm going to give you a little breakdown of how I edited both parts of the 50 random facts video, and I'm going to show you some tips and tricks on how to edit as well. So first we'll start with this lovely intro here. Obviously I use the text generator, which is an insert text, and you can add effects and stuff, move it around with that. Yeah, you get the drift. The font I'm using for that I got off a free fonts website, because the pre-installed fonts with Windows are pretty naff. I mean, I use them sometimes, but I like to use crazy fonts. This Fallen Stars background here, I got off a website called Videvo. This is where I get all my stock footage as well that I use in my videos. Like, if I wanted to find people walking, I would just type people walking. I just use the free videos. Just untick that, and all these videos are pretty much free. You just download them and you can put them into your video. Like, I'd probably use this one here because this one looks pretty good. You just click download, and as long as you credit the author, tells you what to do on there. As long as you credit the author, you can use this in any video you want. I got the Fallen Stars thing from there, and I got loads of other things from there. Like the Donald Trump mask thing right there, and the shots of the outside building. All from that website. A lot of the clips are colour correct, like that's without and that's with, just to get it how I want it to look. 50 random facts! So yeah, this is also colour corrected. I'm no expert at colour correcting, but this is the colour correction settings I had for this. Obviously it was well lit, but it still looked pretty dull. That's what it looks like without. I use the camera's auto settings most of the time, so I can't get the lighting levels looking exactly how I want, but I use levels and I just mess around with it until I get it looking how I want. Obviously you don't want it overexposed, so don't put it too high. You just use these sliders to get the lighting looking how you want. I've got lots of custom settings in here. You can save all your settings using that button. BBB is what I used for this. Don't ask why I called it BBB. I have no idea. I'm not very good at naming stuff. Usually I just pick the most random thing that I can think of at the time. Obviously this footage is all edited. I don't just drag one clip on and that's it. I always chop bits out and it takes hours. It takes absolutely hours to edit. Trust me, editing is not an easy or fast process. It takes a long time. And yeah, that's that. Huge building down in Somerset. It was absolutely massive. It was like stock footage. And it had soft plays. It had... For images like this, I either use Google or a website called Pixabay. With Google, obviously you just type like cat. Go on images and tools and then press users rights in Creative Commons. This is all the free images you can use. Just in case my videos get flagged up for copyright issues, I like to use copyright free images as much as I possibly can. All these are copyright free. If you click into them, it usually tells you the copyright stuff. That's an awful image. I don't know why that came up. That's horrible. Poor cat. Oh. As long as you credit the author of all these pictures in your video somewhere, you should be able to use them for free and you shouldn't get any copyright strikes or anything. If I'm not using Google for images, I usually use Pixabay. And you can get loads of free images on here as well. Like if I type cat on here, loads of cat pictures. Tells you the licenses and stuff all on here, so yeah. Free pictures and free images, you know where to go for those. If you want to know how I do zooms and stuff, I click this little icon here, Video Event Effects, and as you can see there's a timeline there called Position, and basically you can animate your picture here. So usually I start off on default, that's the size of the picture or the size of the frame, or if you're dragging an image in and you want to crop it to a certain size like square, you just click that and it makes it into a square, but default is usually the default project settings, so that'll go to widescreen. Here's the animated thing here. You can drag it to any size you want. You can make it zoom into that. So when you watch it back it goes like this. Plus a ball cock for a toilet, which pretty much look like this. You can make it turn like that, so it goes like that. Ball cock for a toilet. Which the only thing you have to watch out for if you do that is that sometimes the thing will letterbox at the side, so you've got to make sure it doesn't letterbox. And see there, it goes over the edges a little bit, so just make sure it doesn't letterbox while you're doing your animation and you should be fine. You can do all sorts of things with this. You can make it flip upside down, and that's how I animate my pictures. Anyway, moving on. These are just screen recordings. I use OBS to record my screen with. That's what I'm recording these videos with right now. There's OBS right there recording away. If you want to find music to use in your YouTube video, then use the YouTube audio library. That's what I use. It's basically youtube.com/audio library. You can get thousands of free songs to use in your videos. This is what I always use. Like there's some really good sounding ones, like you can find anything you want really, any type of song you want to use in your video. This audio library has it all. And if you click that button there, you can search by genre, like if you want pop, apply. Then all the pop songs come up, and you can do it by mood as well. Got this Minecraft recreation that I did, and this is basically exactly how the conservatory looked. So basically, as I explained on the 50 random facts video, The conservatory was created in Minecraft on creative mode, and all these crisp packets, the little kid and TV and stuff, was added in afterwards on a website called PizzApp. PizzApp is amazing. I basically use it for editing images, and I also use it for creating my YouTube thumbnails. All my YouTube thumbnails, like these ones right here, were all created on PizzApp. The crisp packet image was off Google, and I used the cutout tool to cut it out. And basically that's how all these images were done, on the cutout tool. And I would drag the items around until I was satisfied with how they looked. To get multiple crisp packets, I would use the duplicate tool, like shown here. And I would just drag all those crisp packets around in different places. And I would resize some of them to make them look more realistic. Like the ones closer I would make bigger. And I would rotate some of them as well and overlap some of them, just to add some realism. Of course it wasn't a massive packet of ready salted crisps, so I would colour change some of the packets as well, using the little colour slider. It's good to have a few cheese and onions and prawn cocktails in there as well. So yeah, the cheeseburger scene. One of the most fun parts of the video I've edited. All of these clips have a bit of colour correction on. For these ones I've used Autolux, and Autolux is basically like Instagram filters, but for videos. There's loads of different ones you can choose from, as you can see. Loads of different colour schemes. The strength I had it on is 0.224, because if I do it too strong it just looks too overboard, like. Yeah, that's far too much. That looks pretty depressing, that look, but yeah. I thought Dan's Labyrinth would look the best for that. For the gangster scenes I use levels again. For some reason it makes things a bit darker the more lighting you've got, so you have to compensate and add levels to it. I've just used BBB but turned it up a little bit more for this scene. These burger shots don't have any lighting on because the lighting looked alright. This has a little bit of Dan's Labyrinth again, but turned up a little bit more. Editing colours of videos is subjective. I like this look, but you might want a more gloomy look like that, or you might want a more like airy fairy look like this. Got a little bit of Autolux on there as well, just to make it look a bit more gloomy looking. Out of all of the 50 random facts shots I've filmed, this one is my favourite. It just looks so nice. So cinematic. I would even have this picture on my wall if I could. I just love the angle and everything about it. And yeah, this has Autolux on as well. That's without and that's with. A lot of the shots also have these fades here. You can change how it fades in. If you want a straight fade, a slow fade, like a quick fade, you can change how it fades in and stuff. And I overlap some shots here, like this. You can change how it overlaps and all the fade settings here. It's pretty advanced, the stuff you can do, but yeah. Now moving on to the Christmas scene. This is a fun scene. I've got a snow background here off Videvo, and I've got this window overlay. It's a PNG image and these glass panels are slightly transparent, so you can add it over a video and it looks like a real window. And of course I've got a little bit of zoomage going on here. And this video here has a little bit of colour correction, just because it looked far too grey, the original video, so I turned the saturation up to make it a bit more cinematic looking. And yeah, final result is that. It's pretty good. All the rest of the Christmas scenes, there's not much going on there, apart from some slight colour correction. And the final scene I want to show you, in the first part of 50 Random Facts, is of course the haunting scene. It's filmed in the daylight, and I added an effect called colour curves and put it on night mode, and as you can see it makes it look nighttime even though it's daytime. I still thought that was too bright, so basically I just turned down this little slider here. You can adjust the opacity with this little slider here, and you just drag it down slightly and made it slightly darker. And yeah, that's all I did to that.
What's that?
So yeah, that's part 1 finished. Now moving on to part 2. So here we are, part 2 of the video. This has some pretty interesting editing in this one, so I'm looking forward to showing you it. We've got the first scene here. Basically I've got some Autolux on here, mod follower, and some colour correction. I used a different thing on here. I used colour corrector 2. It's similar to levels, but it's more precise. You get more like targeted colours with this one. I used light rays just to make it look a bit more dreamlike. And you can drag the light source around here. Kind of wanted it coming from the rock, so I put it about there. And yeah. Video editing takes up a lot of CPU. It's good to have a good computer which is capable of video editing. Moving on. This is all stock footage here. I colour correct some of the stock footage as well, cause that looked too washed out for me. I wanted a more sort of realistic nighttime sunset. I think that's one of the only clips in the video which are actually darkened rather than lightened. I'm all about the light. This beatboxing scene, I wanted to add something a bit interesting to it. This was all just pretty much improvised, this thing. I put light rays on and I've got it on Kian, I don't know if it's Kian Spotlight. And yeah, that's all I did really to that. This scene is probably the most heavy on editing. I've done a lot of work on this. I think I added a subtractive dissolve to this one. Or a threshold appear. I think that's the one I used. Yeah, that's the one I used. I wanted it to look like the trees were sort of growing into the picture, as you can see. They come out of like a silhouette. Not all of these clips have colour correction, some of them are just straight off the camera. This one, however, has a lot of colour correction. Basically, on the original, it looked far too gloomy and the grass was far too dark. So I messed around with the colour corrector secondary. You can highlight part of the picture where you want brightened. It's pretty complicated. But if you press select effect range and select the grass, for instance, you can actually brighten that specific range of colours. I'm not a professional with this, but I've pretty much just like improvised, and then you can just turn. Oh, that looks so weird. That just looks like it snowed. I've turned the image to snow. How weird. That looked far too overexposed, so that's another image I darkened. You can never really tell how the lighting's going to come out on a picture until you edit it. This needed brightened. This scene here has auto lux on. As you can see, it looks pretty plain there. It looks a bit more cinematic with that on. And obviously colour corrector just to make it look a bit more contrasty. And now we've got something very interesting here. As you can see, we've got the time lapse here. When I go, the image fades upwards into this picture. As you can see, it literally morphs into the next image. To do this morph, I used this program called Morpheus Photo Morpher. Basically, you have the original image on the left and the image it's going to morph to on the right. You place dots on loads of different points of the image. In those same dots on the second image, you move them to the same points that they're on the first image. Basically, they are reference points of where the morph's going to happen. And yeah, I had both images morph into one. Had to make sure I saved it in HD because the default settings were pretty bad quality. So, we've came to the final scene, and this is the flossing scene. As you can see, there's a lot of chopping going on here.
Get to the chopper!
Especially at this section here. This is pretty much every single floss I did cut into single segments. For colour correction, I used colour corrector secondary again. Those are the settings. And that's what it looks like without, and that's what it looks like with. Obviously a lot better. And these were experimental ones that never ended up going in the final take. I was just messing around with the brightness and contrast, but I didn't use that either. So that's why they are unticked. Basically how I filmed this scene is I chose a BPM to do me floss to, and I chose 140 because that's the usual speed of dance music, 140 BPM. So I found a metronome app on my phone and I downloaded it, and basically I put the metronome on and I done all my flosses to the metronome. Got the BPM timer. Let's do this thing. I think that's a wrap. So, with all that out of the way, it was time to sync the music with the video. But to do that, I needed a louder metronome, because the one on the video wasn't loud enough. So I downloaded this metronome off YouTube, and I basically dragged it into the video like so. So the first thing is to sync this metronome with the metronome on the video. So what I do is I zoom in and I find the click on here, which I think is that. No, it's not. There's a click there, and I just drag that there so it matches. And if you want to be more precise, just zoom in. You can see it starts to dip there, so that's the bit I want to match. And I drag it to about, use the line to help. There. Let's do this thing. And that's how I matched the metronome up to the one on the video. And it's the same with the music. I found a bass drum in the sound, and I matched the bass drum to the click. So basically it started at the exact same time as the flossing started. I matched this first bass drum to that as best I can. About there. Right again, let's do this thing. Obviously that's not the final video, that's just an example of how I matched it all up. I chopped all of the parts of flossing I wanted out, and I made sure I kept the metronome in line with that. So if I chopped that scene, I would select both of them things and move both of them together, because I wanted the metronome to always match up to that, so I would always take the metronome with the clip. And for this scene here, I made every single one of these clips match to one bass drum. Afterwards I deleted the metronome, and that's how I got this flossing montage, which is rather funny, I have to admit. Finally, we have the outro at the end, which is just the star background here. That's off Videvo. And at the end, the editing gets a bit crazy, but it's nothing amazing, really. Got a bunch of sound effects there with fades and stuff. That's just a sound clip which I time stretched to make it a bit longer. You just press Control and do that to time stretch things. And I reversed it, because it was a breathing sound. I reversed it and make it sound like it was breathing in rather than out. And at the end, I made it zoom in a bit. You can see it zooms in. And that's just a wormhole animation at the end. And I made it fade into that. So yeah, there's no right or wrong way to create title sequences like this, it's all just experimentation. This was just a mix of fades in and out, and multi-layering clips and stuff, and adding the odd sound effect here and there, but it all worked out. So yeah, that pretty much wraps up all the editing. There's a lot more editing going on, but that's just mainly chopping up stuff. All of the fancy editing I've pretty much covered. I really hope at the end of this video you take away something from this. Hopefully you've learnt a bit about editing videos. If you want to start editing videos yourself, hopefully this gives you a kind of guide on how to edit things. Also, before I end the video, there's a neat little trick I found out. If you click on a clip here and press select all after cursor, then OK, it selects all of your project after that clip you selected. Say if you want to drag this whole thing here to the right, you just click on that clip there, select all after cursor, all tracks, then you just click one of the bigger clips there and you can drag the whole thing to the right or to the left. It's pretty handy, and then you just click off and there's a big gap there that I've made. That's just a cool trick I've just recently learned, and it's helped a lot with editing this video because the video is pretty huge and there's been a lot of dragging and chopping and changing going on. Before that I just used to do this, then I cut and pasted the thing, and I just put create a reference, but as you can see that's pretty slow. The new method is much faster and much more easy. So thank you so much for watching this behind the scenes video. It wasn't just the 50 random facts videos that took a lot of work to film and edit. This took a lot of work to film and edit as well. So please give it a thumbs up and a like to show your appreciation. And thank you so much for watching. Peace out. I thought...